Hello, I'm CK, and welcome to my guide for Mythic Halls of Atonement in the World of Warcraft expansion, Shadowlands. This dungeon is located in the northeast part of Revendreth and contains 4 bosses and some notable trash to watch out for. Let's get started. The first boss in the dungeon you come across is Halkias, the Sin-Stained Goliath. This boss has 3 main abilities. The mythic ability is called Light of Atonement, which puts a large red circle around the boss. Stepping outside of the circle will cause the player to be chain feared, so make sure you stay inside at all times and communicate with your group if you're the tank and need to make a big move with the boss. The second ability is Heave Debris or Crumbling Slam. Crumbling Slam will be cast on the tank, and Heave Debris will target a DPS or a healer. Both of these leave a patch of glass shards on the ground that will slow you and do damage when you walk over them. So make sure you stack these the best you can to save space or leave pathways to walk through in case you need to move the boss. And finally, his last ability is Refracted Sunlight. This shoots across 4 red beams from the boss that spin in random directions. Make sure you stay in the circle and try not to step on the glass shards. Careful though, as these beams can randomly change directions. The second boss is Echelon. His 3 main abilities are as follows. First, Undying Stone Fiends, which are summoned throughout the fight. Keep their cast of Villainous Bolt interrupted the best you can to help group them up. Upon death, they will turn to stone. The mythic change for this fight comes with his ability, Curse of Stone. This debuff now hits all players in the party, which will turn them all to stone. The boss will then cast Shattering Leap on one player. If targeted, make sure you stack on the Undying Stone Fiends so they are destroyed and cannot be reanimated with the next set. His final ability is called Blood Torrent. This is targeted at a random player and will create a large puddle of blood underneath. Make sure you move out of this and try to drop this to the side of the room if possible, as it lasts for 75 seconds and could make space limited. The third boss is High Ajudicator Aleez. Her abilities are as follows: Volley and Bolt of Power. Volley of Power is casted at the entire party and deals high damage. Bolt of Power is casted directly at the tank. Make sure Volley of Power is the priority for interrupts. Next is Anima Fountain. This cast will summon red swirlies around the platform, so just make sure you dodge these and you should be fine. Finally, we have Ghastly Parishioners, which are summoned throughout the fight to aid the High Ajudicator. These can be handled simply by running them in to one of 4 vessels around the boss arena. Please note that once you run out of the 4 vessels, you may just have to kite these around until the boss is dead. The final boss is Lord Chamberlain. His abilities are as follows. First, we have Stigma of Pride, which places a ramping dot on the tank that lasts for 18 seconds, dealing damage every 3 seconds and increasing its damage by 30% every tick. Make sure that you use a cooldown towards the end of this cast if you're the tank, or call for an external from your healer. Second, we have Telekinetic Onslaught, which he will throw the statues around the room. These statues will always travel in the direction they are facing, so you want to make sure you dodge these. The main ability for this fight is called Ritual of Woe. First, he will cast Telekinetic Onslaught, pulling all the statues into him, followed by Telekinetic Repulsion, which he throws them back out. The mythic change comes instead of channeling into a single statue, he channels into all 4. So each player should make sure to grab one beam to prevent them from hitting the boss. Tanks can cheese this mechanic slightly by stacking inside of the boss model and using a cooldown. Just make sure you communicate with your healer, as these do heavy damage. Also note, he does have a frontal cone, which should be avoided at all costs. Finally, let's discuss the notable trash mobs found throughout the dungeon. First up, we have the Depraved Houndmaster and Vicious Gargon. The Gargons deal heavy tank damage and leave nasty bleeds. The Houndmaster will cast Loyal Beast and needs to be stunned in order to interrupt the cast. If this cast gets off, it will increase the Gargon damage by 125%, but this enrage can be dispelled by anything that takes away in ranges, so Hunter Trank Shot, Druid Soothe, or anything along that line. Second, we have the Shard of Halkias, which will cast Thrash, dealing heavy damage to the party for 8 seconds. Once this cast is finished, it will then cast Sinquake. In order to dodge Sinquake, you need to be preemptively moving. So start moving with the last second or 2 of Thrash going, and you should be fine. Next up, we have the Loyal Stoneborn. If you're a member of the Venthyr Covenant, you can use your extra action button to take control of this mob for 30 seconds. They deal high damage, so they're super useful on boss fights, and they give a reduced damage taken buff, which is also nice. Finally, we have Inquisitor Cigar, which is found right before Lord Chamberlain. Before you focus on killing him, make sure you focus all the mobs around the room, as he will cast Dark Communion, which will drain the mobs of their health and heal him for any damage taken as long as the mobs are up. I hope this guide helped. If you're interested in more guides, I will be posting all mythic dungeons and raid encounters on this channel, so make sure you hit the subscribe button and click the bell icon so you never miss when videos go live. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite boss is in the dungeon and how I could further improve these guides. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.